Drew McIntyre, Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Charlotte Flair faces off with Tiffany Stratton, and Kevin Owens will never forgive Sami Zayn. We review SmackDown and Raw every single week, and today we've got SmackDown Week 6. Leave a like and subscribe so you never miss anything coming up, and thank you for watching. Let's get into it.
Jey Uso opens the show with one of his banger promos and his 10-minute walkout. The Royal Rumble champion is getting a lot of love on SmackDown, and we're both here for it.
Oh, he comes out with the 10-minute yeet, stops. The music plays again, he keeps eating. Oh my god, it's getting unbearable. The most interesting thing for me at the minute going on with Jey is that he is still undecided as to who to pick at WrestleMania. He doesn't know whether to pick Cody, he doesn't know whether to pick Gunther, he has personal beef with Gunther, but it's more of a professional thing with Cody and he wants the big belt. The opening of the show was just him bringing Cody out, Jacob and Tama Tonga then come out and interfere, and it sets up the main event, a tag match.
Bianca Belair versus Piper Niven. We both seen them go before. This is going to be a banger match.
Oh, it was.
And it was a banger match.
It was a banger
Bianca
match.
picks up the win and qualifies for the Elimination Chamber. But Piper looks great as usual. So does Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
We get KOD that ended the match. Once again, how is she picking up that much, bro?
And this match, unlike their last encounter, actually means something. Like Bev said, qualifying for the Elimination Chamber. Bianca will be there in Toronto. We get our weekly Nick Aldis and Carmelo Hayes segment. This time, Nick wants to match him up with someone again. Carmelo's seen this he's seen this one before. It's a classic. He doesn't want to match up with anyone after all the abuse he's been taking, matching up with Damian Priest, matching up with Braun Strowman. But this time, Akira Tozawa enters the frame and Carmelo is game. When I looked over at Bev when we were watching and I said, Carmelo's going to lose to Tozawa, he believed it, bro. He was shitting himself, weren't you?
I was so worried, bro.
But we'll talk about that match when it comes up. Next up, we have DIY versus Pretty Deadly, an impromptu match after DIY come out and have a pretty entertaining segment. They want the entire audience to bow their heads in respect for MCMG, who they say will not get another shot at the title. But then Pretty Deadly come out and interrupt them, and we get a back and forth. Kit Wilson calling the championships the NXT tag titles. That sets up a match. DIY fighting in their street attire I thought was pretty funny. And they've lost, and Bev, you said they're going to blame this loss on being in jeans, dude. I can already tell. What do you think of the match, Bev? I thought it was I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a fun match. It wasn't for the titles. It's just a match to get a title shot match. So we know who's going to win that. Nothing interesting. They're in the street clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
We knew the outcome. But then again, Pretty Deadly had some great offense. They looked good.
Pretty Deadly for the first time in any match that we've seen for them they looked great. They were getting great offense off. There was one point when Elton Prince was like hulking up. He like pushed his head into Tommaso Ciampa. Good match. Pretty Deadly pick up the win and get their title shot. The Miz backstage, who is looking like a has-been, bro. He is just reaching out to everyone that passes him in the halls and no one wants anything to do with him. He sees Cody and talks about how these young lads don't have any respect these days. Cody says, Miz, I don't need you to have my back. And then Miz, almost acting like a bit of a carrying cross here, getting in Cody's ear, telling him, last year it was your story, now it's Jay's, it must hurt. And you know what that title does to friendships. Good from the Miz there, but again, not too much to talk about. I don't really know what he's doing. He's just a bit of an unk walking backstage right now. Next up, match of the night, categorically can say, Bev.
Drew McIntyre, Jimmy, and LA Knight. Triple
Wow.
threat match, qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. This match starts out with 3 promos from all 3 guys. All of them great on the mic, by the way. They all cooked, and then they all cooked in the ring. Yeah. Jimmy's the better Uso brother.
Easy.
On God.
Drew starts his promo by talking about himself, really. Talking about how jacked he is. He's got a big house. Why am I always so angry? He says that he is officially on Smackdown now, which is fantastic. I feel like that's a bit of a foregone conclusion. We knew that already. Jimmy then comes out and starts cooking Drew, telling him that he's going to dash his WrestleMania dreams, and he's always whining. And then LA Knight comes out and says the same thing. I am loving Big Jim at the minute. Big Jim is on fire at the minute, and I mean, both the Usos are, but we have our favourite here, and I generally think, like Bev just said, Jimmy is the better Uso. LA Knight comes out, and he gets all serious with the camera for a sec, saying, if something gets you in the feels, if you're a man or a boy in this country, it's okay to cry, let it out, it's good for your mental health. And I was like, we were taken aback by that a bit, weren't we?
I was like, where's this going? Well,
Yeah.
This isn't LA Knight. Why is he saying men can cry? I was like, what's going on? What's he going to say? I had no clue. And then he goes into it, and he says, but but Drew, you've been crying way too much. And I was like, okay, there we go. That's where this was headed. I was so confused for a minute, but great promo from all of them. Great match. Drew McIntyre does pick up the win.
It was a fantastic match. One spot I want to mention is all three men were in the corner, and Drew McIntyre was in the trio position, and LA Knight jumps up to the top rope, has Jimmy Uso in the superplex. Drew McIntyre springs up like a sit-up, and then German suplex both men, and it is incredible. The finish of this match was incredible as well, with the Claymore to the back of the head of LA Knight, who then hits the BFT inadvertently on Jimmy. Incredible. The chemistry from these three men, they are really coming into their own. Great on the mic, all of them. Fantastic.
As Cammy said before on the Rumble, Kevin Owens going to show up back in the car, and we got exactly what you said. Kevin Owens in the car complaining about Sami Zayn and telling us why he packaged piledriver to him. And Kevin Owens explains that the reason he attacked Sami Zayn was because he helped Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble, but he didn't help his friend Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes as he was brutalizing him.
He says he will never forgive Sami, and he's going to pay. The package piledriver seemed to be just the beginning.
We get Tozawa versus Carmelo Hayes.
Wow. No, I'll take it from here before you crash out.
Please do.
Tozawa got far too much offense on Carmelo Hayes. If Carmelo can go 10 minutes in a match with Damian Priest and then can go 10 minutes in a match with Tozawa, what does that say about Priest? You know, like, what does it say about Carmelo? Carmelo did end up picking up the victory in this match. Didn't mean anything. And then on the top turnbuckle, he hit the burying emote. Crazy from him. Fun match, but again, Tozawa, dude, I don't know, man. They needed to give Carmelo a win. Who can we feed to Carmelo? Because Carmelo is at the bottom of the barrel right now. Just thankful he picked up the win.
Charlotte Flair. We get a promo from Charlotte Flair. She was just on NXT, and now she's at Smackdown. And just to find out which champion she wants to go against. She went to NXT to see if she wanted to compete against the NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Why?
No.
But Charlotte Flair is getting boos. She's getting cheers. It's all indecisive. There's really nothing much going on for her right now. But then Tiffy comes out, who gets a massive pop. And we finally get the long-awaited Tiffy versus Charlotte stare down. That's going to probably be the main event the women's main event for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And Nia Jax and Candice LeRae come out.
Wow.
Why is Candice here? Who cares? And Nia Jax is always great on the mic, but man, I just really didn't care tonight.
Charlotte Flair is stuck in this no man's land between being booed and wooed. Like, it is a very strange combination. She looks comfortable out there, but stuff is not getting a response. Like, she says, when you guys boo, all I hear is money, and like no pop. Like, dude, genuinely, it's so strange. Obviously, it's good to have her back. She could put on a banger match. We're excited to have her back, but I don't know whether she's a heel or a babyface, dude. She asked Tiffany Stratton to beg for her to pick her at the WrestleMania on all fours in the middle of the ring. Obviously, Tiffany didn't do that. She's a goddamn women's champion. But just crazy, the disrespect from Charlotte, which makes me think she is a heel. She said, when I was in the ring with Rhea, I saw a kid. When I'm in the ring with you, I see a child, which is just even more demeaning to Tiffy. I like the story, so far anyway. I like the story they're trying to tell of Charlotte being like this cocky vet, and these kids, you know, they want to be her, they want to be Charlotte Flair wannabes. But yeah, strange. Candice LeRae is already in the ring, ready for her match next against Alexa Bliss. Her first match back in 3 years, I think they said on commentary, if you don't count the Rumble. This is a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber, and lo and behold, Alexa Bliss will be in Toronto. And the match was fun. But again, the opponent, Candice LeRae, the crowd was pretty quiet for a lot of it. Some great offense by Alexa. She wins the match with a Sister Abigail DDT. Not much I want to say about that, Bev, unless you've got anything to say.
Next up, we had Street Profits, who gave us a really nice promo video package, edited well. To be honest, they cooked. For a lot of the time when Street Profits on the screen, I'm not excited. I'm not ready for it. And then we get into an MCMG promo saying that just they were cooking on the mic, and we get El Fantasma, whatever, who just sucked, dude. I'm sorry. We just had back-to-back nice promos, and then we get these fuckers. It's like, God, go away, bro. Just no one wants you on the screen. 3 hour SmackDown needs to be abolished.
The team division is just at each other's throat. Street Profits want the smoke. They're talking about DIY and yada, yada, yada. MCMG are talking about how they are in Street Profits' backyard and they better come move them. So it looks like we're going to get Street Profits MCMG feuding for another title shot. And then El Phantasma, emphasis on the L, they come in. And again, it's just like carbon cut out, like 2D heels. They talk about how they abandoned MCMG last week in their 8-man tag match, which I guess they've got a point. Looks like they're going to be feuding as well. And then we get the main event.
This match is probably one of the most forced matches that happen every week on SmackDown, because SmackDown's the worst show. It's not good. And the main event is always so forced, because obviously they want to give all the places they go a nice main event with Cody Rhodes in it. So they did Cody and Jey versus Jacob and Tama, and it was just not a good match. Well, it was a short match, but this is such a forced one.
It is.
Who cares about two main event guys in a tag team match? Whatever, they pick up the win. Shocker, no.
It's just a way to get Cody showing up weekly without having these one-on-one matches all the time, so it feels special when he goes one-on-one with someone at a PLE. He's banged up, he's wearing tape on his arm from the ladder match with KO. I thought that was pretty good. Always nice to see Jacob Fatu. Not many spots to record from this match, but again, just another tag team match to main event at SmackDown. And that's the show, but is it? Because Solo Sikoa is back and he spikes Cody Rhodes. What do you think, Bev?
He's back. Yeah, I don't know what direction they're going to go, but he's back, so I'm happy with that. I like Solo. I don't know what direction this is going to go, and I don't think it's going to be exciting. But if he's, like you said, if he does the Tribal Chief stuff, this is going to make SmackDown even more painful to watch. And this was a good show until about the last hour.
And that's everything that we have to say. Did you enjoy the show? Did you catch it? Did you miss it? Subscribe so you don't miss anything coming up, and drop a like if you'd be so kind. Thank you very much for watching. Join us next week for back to regular programming.
NoPop.
NoPop.